Welcome to the I'm Simply Artistic podcast by Celita Williams. I'm Celita Williams, and I'm glad that you could join me. The worst thing, bare your soul, is the last thing. Speak some truth. Have some fun.
Your word is like a building.
I don't know how anybody does this simply without artistic.
This call is now being recorded.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
How are you doing?
Wonderful. It's a beautiful day. I love it.
All right, man. I'm so glad that we were able to make the connection and I was able to talk to you this morning.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I guess, we'll dive right in. Your name is Prafit Josiah. I'm so glad to have you on the show. Welcome to the I'm Simply Artistic podcast. Here's a couple things that I know about you, but then I want you to please fill in the gaps, okay?
Okay.
All right. So what I know so far is you are a CHH writer and producer. You're A&R for Track Stars and on their new distribution platform, Nectar.
Correct.
All right, okay. You got a new EP out called Get to Know Prafit Josiah.
Correct.
Today on the show, we'll be listening to and talking about one of the tracks from that album, Count Your Blessings. But before we dive right in, what am I missing? What else should people know about you, man?
I don't know. There's a whole lot. I try not to be super detailed. People might not want all that information, but essentially,
Right.
I started rapping a super long time ago, back in the 90s. Then I stopped rapping, and then back in 2016, I kind of picked it back up again because I felt like that's what God wanted me to do. And then since 2016 forward, I just been trying to make music that I feel like is gonna encourage people, reach people, tell them about Jesus, and then at the same time just ride out and just chill.
Right. What kind of music were you making back in the early 90s?
Same thing. I was doing Christian rap back in the early 90s.
Okay. Is that the only kind of, did you start making music after you became a Christian?
Sort of, yeah. Like my dad used to play all of these old school. Well, at that time it wasn't old school. It just was Christian rap. He used to play Christian rap in his car all the time. And I was a Christian. I'm like 12 or 13 or something like that. And so he'd be like, "Yo, man, listen to this. And we used to think, me and my brother used to think this was the corniest music ever. And so,
Right.
and so we decided we was gonna make a quote unquote real Christian rap tape to show him that anybody can rap better than these people. You know what I'm saying? We don't even rap.
Right.
We rap better than them. So, you know what I'm saying? We had a little radio with a microphone. You know what I mean? And we went to the store, bought some beats, and we made a little tape. I gave it to him. He played in the car, and he just used to jam to it. Like, yo, this is dope. And then you know what I'm saying? And then everywhere he went, he would be like, yo, listen to my sons. And we were like, yo, what you doing? And he's like, yo, everybody needs to hear this because this is good. And And we're like,
Right.
what? This is not serious. We just wanted to show you that these people suck and we're good. and then we just kind of went on from there because so many people liked it that we felt like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we should take this more serious since it appears everybody likes what we're doing. So then we started going to studios, started recording, jumping in talent shows. And then just kept rolling forward like that.
Oh man, that's amazing. So, what was he listening to? I mean, was he actually playing? First of all, I need to know the year. I need.
Okay, so
I need to know the year.
Okay, so it's like 1991, 1992. So he's playing SFC, Gospel Gangsters, Mike Peace, PID,
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
man, there's a lot of people. I hate to call people whack, but it's like at that time we used to listen to secular hip hop too. So it was like EPMD, Rakim. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people that were super dope, and then these people were like, you know, they okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I didn't realize gospel gangsters had been around that long. I think I remember coming into them I don't know, probably around a little later in the 90s. I became aware of gospel gangsters and kind of that whole era of, you know, Grape Tree Records and that whole era of the origins of gospel hip hop is what they called it back in there, as opposed to CHH, what we call it now, or holy hip hop. Holy hip hop. That's what it was.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it went through a lot of names. Gospel rap, Christian rap,
Yeah.
Jesus rap.
I mean, it's interesting that this would be your origin, that your dad is introducing you to this, and then of course today you're a part of Track Stars, the organization which their whole goal is to make Christian hip hop less whack. Or
Absolutely.
to challenge artists at least to do that. And I mean, quite honestly, you know, the genre has made a full 180. I mean, it's come a really long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, that's awesome. So as a joke, you start making music. Your dad takes it seriously and actually kind of opens the door and paves the way for you all to begin to really get in the studio and make music, right?
Absolutely.
Why did you stop?
Well, we was rapping for a long time. So initially we had a group called Profits. We started probably in like 1993 and went to like, I'll say like 2002. The group kind of just broke up because my brother decided he didn't want to do it anymore. And he decided he didn't want to do it anymore right at the time we had just finished the album. So we just finished recording, mixing and mastering. And I'm like, boom. Now, I mean, we could put this out. We could start, you know what I'm saying, doing shows, this and that. And he's like, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. I thought he was playing. I'm like, what you mean? Like, we just finished our album. What you talking about? Yeah, I'm just not really feeling this. I feel like God's calling me to do whatever. And I'm just not feeling it. So we had a bunch of music that I couldn't really perform because it's like me and him, and I can't just do like my verses and then go to the hook. It just wouldn't be right. So then I had to start writing my own songs, and that's kind of like where I stopped because we were moving full force. We had shows, we had this, we had that, and then when he decided to walk away, I had to start to just create all my own material, and that just took time to be able to do. Then I wasn't used to doing it by myself. So that's where it kind of died down. I was still writing and recording and doing shows, but it just was different. So it just got like really, really slow.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's you and I listen to your song "Count Your Blessings" together. I just want us to listen to it one good time together, and then we'll come back and talk about it. How's that?
No doubt. Sounds good.
Hey, I'm so blessed beyond the material. Got bowls for my cereal. I can afford cereal, the sugary kind. Oh yes, with the brand name. If you can do the same, then guess what? You're blessed too. The no name ones too. I won't exclude you. We got all these blessings, but we choose to stress them. Things that don't matter. I come home from work and my family's right there. I know y'all don't care, but I know it's not fair. When some lost their family, so they feeling disenchanted. Can't take mine for granted. Not always the standard. I'm feeling empathetic, But really I'm pathetic when I start to complain. Like when the sun's gone and then it starts to rain. I'm ashamed, not really in pain. Pinched nerve strikes again, but it could be worse. God is looking out for me. Comparison to devil. Recognize your blessings. Sometimes they be hiding, residing right in front of your face. Looking for dollar signs, but sometimes that's a curse. Just run your race. It may be different than the next. Read your Bible, open up the text, and stop being vexed over your luxuries. Read Matthew 6:25 into the 30s. Leaving church early when you should have stayed for prayer. Trying to be a billionaire? Come on, what a joke. Spending bread on your lust. You discuss the King of Kings. I misspoke. Being unbroke is really not the issue. Knowing Christ before you croak really is. Kids are a blessing, such priceless gems. You better honor them and teach them the ways of God. With your actions and words, teach them life is hard but not impossible. You're mad about your whip and how fast it go, but you passed the load of people riding the bus. Count your blessings. Yeah, count your blessings. And if you riding the bus, you ain't got no excuses. So many people walking while you chucking the deuces. Peace. Count your blessings and stop stressing over things you can't change. Our lives so estranged from the real. We wanna feel like we in a movie where everything's perfect and nobody's moody or bougie. And it's not a sin to show your booty. I chase after the coochie, looking for the A double. Like Judge Judy, gotta keep it 1 billion. 100 ain't enough. The truth is too expensive. The fluff is always free. Just like the lies, it's way too hot for a sugar coat. I got to supply the lyrical vegetable. It's dinner time, you're gonna eat the whole meal. Then come back for seconds, that's so soul fulfilled. The world is unreal, Christ soon be revealed. I pray your name is sealed. That'll be your only shield. Getting saved be ideal, but I understand the spirit gotta call you. It's your cell phone ringing, he want all of you listening to the sound of this dope track. To call him back, this song is your voicemail. Don't fail at the only thing that matter of fact he is teaching. So many lessons, the way sufficient grace, just count your blessings. Yes, count your blessings. Count your blessings.
Dope.
Oh man, I love that joint.
So nice. Well, what can you tell us about the song?
So, Count Your Blessings was kind of birthed out of me complaining about stuff, like when I pray, and God telling me, like, you need to really look at your situation because it's way better than what you think it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was like, wow, so let me see, like, why it's really better. And then you can hear me just talking about it, like, some people don't have a family. Like, I have a family. I know that's not something that people really think about. But I come home, and my wife and my kids is right there. And they usually run up to me, like, Daddy, da-da-da-da. And it's like, everybody doesn't experience that when they come home from work. Like, that's kind of dope.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm thinking like, well, my job only paid me this much, and you're saying my car is this, and it's like, you have a car. Some people don't have a car, they fly in the bus.
Right.
Like just stop and think about what you're complaining about, and then shut up.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how it came about.
Yeah, man. I mean, that message, of course, definitely comes through. And then the production behind it is absolutely insane. Like, I love just all the different sounds and the instruments and the blend.
Yeah.
It was nice. Who produced it? Was it you or?
I actually bought this beat online.
Yeah.
But I like to buy the track out version, not just the 2 tracks, so I can mix everything and make sure you can hear all the sounds, and I can pan it to the left and to the right.
Yeah.
It's like the 2-track version didn't really sound as good. You know what I mean? Like, it sounded fresh. But then when I actually bought the track out so I could mix it myself,
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, there's a lot of sounds in here that they didn't even mix right. So I got real excited. Like you said, there's so many instruments. I was like, oh man, this just sounds so crazy. Like, I love sounds.
Yeah.
So to be able to hear that one sound in the right side just a little bit, and then something over to the left, it just sounds so cool to me.
Yo, that's interesting. I'm glad to hear that you, even though you purchased the track, like, you went in and put your own funk and your own spin on it. Like, you really exercised some skill.
Absolutely.
Man, that was awesome, because there's a lot going on in that music. I enjoyed kind of listening to it over and over again, because you just like, oh, and this is when the growl comes in, and this is like when that fades out. Oh, and then you hear the telephone ringing. Like, was the telephone ringing already in there? Did you add it? Because I know your lyrics kind of speak to it.
Yeah, like, I added the lion,
Okay.
I added the cell phone, I added, I actually kind of added a lot of stuff. I added the lion, the cell phone, and then I made the breakdowns a little bit different than they were, like, originally.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, so, yeah, that's
Tell
kind
me
of what I did, just to make it mine, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You absolutely did. Tell me about the decision to add to the lion. What was that about?
So initially, I just thought it sounded fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, because this was a single at first.
Right.
And so for the single cover, I had a lion face on it. So I was like, oh, it would be cool if I just had a growl like at the beginning. And then I just come in and start rapping. That'd be fresh.
Yeah.
So I went online, I found some lion growls. And then I was like, yo, what if I just put it throughout the whole joint every time I say something that I think is dope? It would just make people listen to it more. So then I was like, oh yeah, that'd be fresh. And then I started trying to figure out where I wanted to put it at.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, like, you know how, like, the scripture talks about, you know, Jesus being like the Lion of Judah. Then at the same time, I was thinking, like, but it also says the devil walks around like a roaring lion, seeking who he may devour.
Right.
I was like, ooh. So it's like 2 lions, and then you say when I'm thinking something dumb, devil's growling, and then when I say something fresh, like God's growling, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of stuff I was thinking about, and saying to kind of put it together.
Yeah. Yeah, it was excellent, man. When I was listening to it, it made me consider, like, there's a lot of different sounds, but they're merged in really well. They're layered really well. Like you said, playing with, you know, the left side or the right side, and mixing, and putting the breakdowns in differently. Like, as a producer and an artist, and as somebody that made this track your own, how do you know when it's too much? Like, when is there too much going on when it comes to production?
Too much. I guess for lack of a better term, like, it just don't sound right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when it feels like things are battling, like, wait, my voice is kind of battling with this or with that.
Yeah.
And sometimes I want it to battle, but I still want to kind of sit on top of it, where you can enjoy the music and also enjoy what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think for this particular song, like, you know, there's no hook. It's just me rapping. So
Yeah.
I wanted the music to be like the hook. So there's certain parts of the beat where it's like, dun, 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 like, that's the part I will just recognize. Like, okay, that's kind of like the part that everybody's going to like.
Right.
But it's kind of like me having a conversation. I just want to have a conversation over, like, a chill beat. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes a lot of sense, and I guess you can't get any more, like, plain than that. Like, if it sounds crazy, you probably do it too much. You need to dial that back a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Tell me about your influences. I know we talked about, like, the artists that your dad introduced you to, which you thought was whack. So, this style of rap that you developed, the way that you have kind of executed your cadence, you know, just the way that is uniquely yours, because you can hear you can hear that sound on every track on your EP. So tell about the influences of how you decided on how you were going to rap, or the way your flow was going to come out.
Yeah, I think my influences are probably like A Tribe Called Quest,
Yeah.
The Roots, Rakim. There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Skills.
Yeah.
K Solo is one of my favorite MCs. A lot of people probably don't know who that is, but K Solo was the first person I heard spell words in a rap.
Okay.
And I just thought that was so ill.
Okay.
And then when he kind of fell off, I just said, "Yo, I'm gonna do that," because it gives you like another way to rhyme. Like if I want to say can't, but then can't don't rhyme with what I'm saying.
Yeah.
K-A, you understand? K-A-N-T, apostrophe. Like, it's so many things you can, I can still say the same word.
Right.
If I spell it out. And I try not to spell words that are extra long, because then people, it's like, yo, what did he say? I try to make it short enough where you can get it.
Right. That's a neat little trick, a neat little rhyme trick to see if you can spell
and
it out.
there's not a lot of people that do that. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why I like it too. I try to do stuff that not a lot of people are doing.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound as unique to me.
So I know that you are in Nashville, Tennessee right now, but where did you grow up?
I grew up in Rochester, New York.
Okay. How long were you there?
Pretty much my whole life. I was there from I was born there until probably into my 30s. I'm 40 now.
Okay.
I'm 41 actually, my birthday.
So what brought you to Tennessee?
You know what I'm saying? Just wanting to get away from cold weather, wanting to get away from snow. And, you know what I'm saying? No, I mean, like, Tennessee has, like, warm weather.
Yeah.
Never snows, or it does, it's like nothing. And, you know what I'm saying? They got nice parks here. Great place for my family to, you know what I'm saying, raise some kids and stuff like that.
Yeah. I love that answer, man. It wasn't nothing like, look, the music scene, Tennessee.
Well, you know what? That's you know, I kind of always wanted to move somewhere where there was music happening.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to move to New York City because it just felt like that's not where I want my family to grow up at. Like, I want to be able to walk to the park.
Yeah.
And like see grass. You know what I'm saying? And so this was, to me, like the next best choice. It's like, you're saying, it's like you're saying you still get family living, but then there's record labels and music publishers like that too.
Right. Well, how long have you and your wife been married?
We got married in 2002, so this year will be 16 years.
Oh, man. Awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, when I meet an artist that is married, has kids, and I'm assuming or heard that you work another job, right? Like you've got your own 9 to 5. You know, how are you managing all of that? Like, tell us. Well, that's one question, and I want you to merge that with the story of this EP coming out and, you know, coming into fruition in the midst of the fact that you have this, you know, this family life and work to deal with.
Okay. My memory is really, really bad. So tell me the first question again,
well,
and then bring up the second part.
It's like, how are you balancing artist life and family life? And
okay, so
we can start
artist
there.
life and family life. Let me jump into that and then bring up the second part. So it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Extremely difficult. Like I work
Right now, my schedule, I work Monday through Thursday
from 7 a.m. to what time do I go to work? No, from like 8 a.m. to like 7 p.m. at night, Monday through Thursday.
Ooh.
So Monday through Thursday, my completely gone.
Yeah.
And then I come home, I eat dinner, I'm saying, play with my kids, watch TV, and then I'm saying bedtime.
Right.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are the days where I do music. We do something as a family. We might visit family. It's just like the whole. Everything got to fit in those 3 days.
Right.
And it's super hard to be like trying to work on music, and then everybody in the family is looking at me like, so you feel like that's what you're gonna do all weekend? You're just gonna sit in front of the computer? Like, well, like I'm trying to work this thing. Like, I mean, that's cool, and we say like we get what you're trying to do, but you have to share that time with us too. So it's like,
right.
it's just very difficult to do. You know what I'm saying? I often work when people are sleeping,
Yeah.
or I make sure I spend time with every single person in my house. Like, I spend time with my wife, I spend time with my son, I spend time with my daughter, and I make sure that they're kind of good daddy time and husband time, and then I kind of sneak off and then do me.
Right. Well, tell us. Go ahead.
Yes, I was gonna say, what was the second part of that?
Oh,
question?
yeah. The second part was, in the midst of that balance, you know, tell us the journey of this album coming to be. Is this album the start of you starting rapping again, or was there something a little prior to this after your break?
So this is like, well, let me tell you how basically how it started. So in 2016,
my cousin was murdered.
Okay.
And it just affected me like in a really strange way. Like,
Yeah.
I was on Facebook. My cousin's sister was on Facebook saying, "Hey, you know, my brother just was murdered. This and that." This is my first time finding out. I'm like, "Oh wow, this is crazy." And then ever since that happened, I just had this immediate feeling like, "See, this is why you're supposed to be making music." And I was thinking like,
I don't really need to make music. You know, when I first started making music,
I initially made music because I thought it was whack, and I was like, we need to have Christian hip hop that's fresh, so that people can understand what we're trying to say, and it don't sound corny. And so I started listening to, you know, saying 2016 current like Christian rap music, and I thought it was dope. I was like, I don't really need to do this, and I'm kind of out of touch with like,
you know, what's going on right now. I hadn't really rapped in a while.
Yeah.
and I was trying to work on my own music publishing. I had a web design business. There was a lot of things I was trying to do, and I kind of put music on the back burner. And then I just kept feeling God tugging on me, like, I kind of need you to make music again.
Yeah.
And I kind of went back and forth with him, like, maybe this is not what you're really telling me. Maybe I'm just getting nostalgic and, you know, saying whatever. But it just kept coming back and hitting me, like, no, I need you to make music. I need you to make music. So I said, cool. So then in 2016, I put out a single. I actually took it down because I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
And then I just put out like a bunch of singles, and this EP
Is like a culmination.
of all the singles. This is not even the album. It's just I just wanted to put them together so when people look me up, I got something you can kind of get to know me by. That's why I named it that.
Right.
So you can say, okay, this is Prafit Josiah,
Well, I'm actually working on
a full-length album with like, you know what I'm saying, just like mad more songs. And I'm not sure if I'm going to include these songs or not, because I got so many other songs that are just different.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I forgot what the next part of the question was.
Well, the journey of making it happen. So I guess it might be all in the same, but the culmination of releasing this EP was just a combination of you. All of these were singles that you released, or you didn't release all of them prior to?
All of these were singles that were previously released.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Well, you know, after listening to it, I know we're excited to see, you know, what the full album is going to be, especially with the production quality, because that you're killing it with that, like all throughout
Thank
the
you.
EP. Absolutely. How did you get connected to Trackstars?
Well, back in 2016, when I started researching Christian hip hop, I'm saying Trackstars just popped up. I think the first thing I saw of them was the Line for Line that was on YouTube.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I was just blown away by that. I was like, yo, this is really dope. Like, you get to hear a secular MC, and you get to hear the Christian MC, and then they making them battle, and then people choose like who they like. I just thought that was so fresh. And I just was like, oh man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then I sent them like my first single. They put it up, And it was one of the only groups of Christian entities that kind of really was open and embraced what I was doing, or even like responded to it. Like a lot of places,
Yeah.
You're saying you sell music or you do whatever they like,
tell you to do. Like they say, hey, send in an email in this format. The format is like take you 15 minutes to do.
Right.
You send it to them, and you don't hear nothing. I'm like, man, I was just like, man, does my music sound that bad that people don't even respond to it anymore?
Yeah.
And then, you know what I'm saying, Trackstars was one of the only people that like responded and said, hey, man, we like your music, we're going to put it up, da-da-da. And I just like that they was open like that, because a lot of people are not really open.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I remember Sean, who's the leader of Trackstars, for anybody that doesn't know. I remember, him kind of describing this process of allowing up-and-coming artists, maybe the unknown artists, to submit music, and them actually listening to everything that came in and giving it a shot. Maybe even if it wasn't 100% up to par with what we would want to hear in hip-hop, it was like, you got to give them a shot. You got to give them an opportunity to be heard and to receive feedback and to be a part of a community of people that is trying to do this. So you're right. That was something that was, completely unique to them, and really hats off to them for creating, that level of community.
Definitely. And they actually care too. Like they actually appear, not appear, but like they actually care. Like you have conversations with these people, you talk about your music, you feel their vision, you feel their heart. Like this is like really real. It's not just something to do to get paid. It's like they really want to see the world change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like with other entities, maybe they want to do that too, but it doesn't really come across as clearly as when like Trackstars said it. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I was looking at your Twitter page, and you've got a good little following going on there. Talk about that. Like as an A&R for Trackstars, and as an artist and producer yourself, what do you think is important for an artist to have or to know? Like how do they build a following, even like the one that you've been able to build?
Yeah, I think you just gotta kind of put yourself out there and not really
pay too much attention to what other people are doing.
Yeah.
I found that
when like none of the entities were really listening to my music or liking me or saying anything, regular people was listening to me. Regular people did like my music.
Yeah.
And I would like screenshot every positive comment I got.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just to make me feel good about myself. Like, oh wow, so he said it's fresh. Okay, maybe it is fresh. And then after I started getting a lot of those comments, I went, oh, okay, so these other entities just don't understand. Maybe they don't feel me, but regular people actually feel me.
Yeah.
And it was like, like some people are saved, some people are not saved. It's just people that's just feeling the music. And I would just say, go after the audience. You know what I mean? Like whoever that may be. You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of old, so everybody's not going to feel me in today's hip hop climate, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
But people that like, I hate to say school rap because it just makes me feel old, but it's like people that like MCs that can really rap, that can put words together, that can actually, make you go, oh man, did you hear what he just said? Like there's still like a lot of people that like that kind of music.
Yeah.
So I reach out to those people, and so you just gotta find your niche of people. Just just bang them in the head with what you got without spamming them. You know what I mean?
Right. What do you say? Be more specific about reach out to those people, just to break it down for the new artist that's trying to do this. What does that mean to reach out to them?
So typically,
I think about artists that I sound similar to, like all the artists I think have like influenced me, and then all these people are online too. So they got Twitter pages, they got YouTube followers, or
right.
IG followers or whatever.
Right.
Eventually, go through their followers and say, hey, check me out.
Yeah.
Or I target them with like social media advertising or something like that. So I might not directly go at them, but I'm saying when I pay for my advertising, I'll say artists, you know what I'm saying, people that like, you know what I'm saying, I try to call Quest, so people that like Common, or like people that like rappers I think I'm similar to, and then they see the ad, they click the page, and they go to my site, and then I got a new follower because I'm in the same vein that they already like.
Yeah.
And then I just like to conversate with people too. So like I'll jump in a bunch of different conversations online
without even mentioning that I really do music.
And then when the topic of music comes up, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm saying I rap too. But they've heard me have a whole conversation for the last 3 months about just regular stuff.
Right.
And then I brought up music. So that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this guy just pushing his music.
Yeah. Absolutely. And would you say that, you know, that kind of daily interaction grind is what allowed you, like, you know, build your followership over time? Or was there a period where there was just a huge jump or wave of people, or did it really just slowly build over the years?
Yeah, that's just slowly building. I've never had a big jump. I don't think I've ever had a big enough platform
where like a bunch of people saw me at the same time.
Yeah.
Where it would just be a big thing like that. I'm still striving for that.
Yeah.
Like to get a big opportunity on like a huge platform. And people go, oh man, this is crazy. Who's that? And then 20,000 people jump on. Like,
right.
But until then, you know, slow grind it out.
Absolutely. Well, you've shared a lot of tips just in the time that we've chatted it up. I'll recap a few just about, you know, taking that beat online, but getting the version that allows you to make tweaks to all the different sounds. I think that's
absolutely
huge, man. That was excellent. You know, and just that slow daily interaction of finding the people that you know would respect and appreciate your voice. I think that was awesome. And then you just talking about, you know, that balance between family life and artist life. But outside of that, is there anything else that you would want to share with the artists that you feel like they need to know to do what they need to do today, especially Christian artists or artists in general?
Yeah, like you got to know the music business. Like, you have to know and understand what a copyright is, what like owning your masters are.
Okay.
Just understand the whole back end of the music business.
Even just a little bit. I mean, there's so much you can learn just online, just from Googling or going to YouTube. Music is more than just, you know, buying a beat, pressing record, and then uploading it to iTunes. Like,
there's a lot more to it that can put money in your pocket, that could help your career go forward if you just understand the business. Like, that's something that
I went to school for, was for like music business.
Okay.
I always wanted to know the back end of the business, because back in the day, my goal was, you were saying, I want to make sure that me and my brother didn't get jerked. So I was like, yo, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to learn the business, and when we come out,
we're going to know what's really good with our contracts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't really do that. They just kind of jump into music, and then they leave the business to the side. And if you ever do get an opportunity to do something great, you want to know what's happening on the other side of the business. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just music, but the business part as well. So I think that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an excellent tip. Are there any resources that come, you know, on the top of your head to help an artist kind of get a little better understanding of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a book that was written by Donald Passman. It's called, I believe it's called Everything You Need About the Music Business.
Yeah.
Or like all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's something like that. I think the latest version came out in like 2015 or something like that.
Yeah.
I also created like an audio book myself, talking about music publishing. You know what I'm saying? You could get that off of like my music publishing site, and that's free. You know what I'm saying? It's NAZSECT.com, NAZ as in zebra, -SECT.com.
Okay.
And there's
Bunch of stuff. You could just
literally just Google music business, and then go to YouTube, and there's a bunch of stuff will come up. Oh, also too, my YouTube channel for my music publishing company has a bunch of videos and resources about how to register your copyright online, how to register your songs at ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC. Just a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
Because I really want Christian artists especially
to understand the business so that
if God gives us the opportunity to really just jump in and do what we want to do, that we're not lacking anywhere. You know what I'm saying? We can actually make music and we can handle our business so we don't go broke. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. That's excellent. Speaking of that though, on your YouTube channel, do you have like kind of like what's that guy's name? Leslie something, the producer. Something. Ryan Leslie, yeah. Like I can go online and I can watch him make a beat. Do you have a video of you like breaking down the beat, or like a, just a little something of you showing how you would take a stock beat online and make it your own?
Nah, somebody told me to do that. A couple people say, "Yo, you should do that."
Yes.
It takes me so long to do it that the video, I just was like, I ain't got time to do it.
You just need to turn on a camera and do it.
Yeah.
And then edit it down to, a reasonable whatever. And man,
right.
that would be
okay.
Amazing.
Okay. I thought about doing that. Somebody said, "Yo, you should do that, because then I would know how to do it." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
Yes.
But then when you're actually like I make music really slow. Like some people can make a beat in 5 minutes and it sounds dope. Like,
yeah,
I listen to beats over and over and over for months.
Yeah.
I mean, like that beat, I had that beat for, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 months before I actually decided, you know what, I like this.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, let me buy the track outs. And then
when I got the track outs,
I said, oh, now I really like it, because when they mixed it, they left out a bunch of sounds, or they just had them buried or something.
Right.
There was a bunch of sounds I had never even heard. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was in there.
Yeah.
It was like, and had I known all those sounds was in there,
I probably would have bought it a long time ago.
Right.
But it just happened to grow on me. And then I said, okay. And I'm just kind of used to editing music and making it fit the way I rap and
adding sounds in there.
That it's almost like second nature to do that. So it's like I have to press record on the video right from the very beginning. Otherwise, you'll miss something that I did.
Right, absolutely.
And I'm just not used to doing that. So I definitely do that. I think I will now.
What site? Where did you go to get the beat and then to get all the components of it? Where was that?
I cannot say that because people gonna be buying my beats.
Ah.
I mean, I can't. But there's a bunch of places.
Yeah.
So almost all the places you buy beats from have an option
for you to buy what's called the track outs, which means every individual sound so that you can mix it yourself. Now, everybody's not an engineer like that, so they might not be able to mix, but you can hire somebody to mix it for you, and it would just sound way better.
And you have more
flexibility too. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have all the individual sounds, I could put my voice right in the middle of all those sounds.
Yeah.
And make the sounds kind of wrap around my voice versus just getting the 2 tracks and then I got to rap on top of it.
Right. Well, talk about this, and then I'm gonna let you go in a little bit here. But mixing. For those that just don't know, I know they hear it. I know there's some artist that's like rapping in his room and rapping into the voice recorder on his cell phone, and he's just going to take that and he's going to lay it over top of a beat that he found online and that's it. But this whole idea of mixing and mastering, what does that mean? What goes on in that process that the average person that's just, trying to spit a song in their home doesn't know, they're not thinking of? Like, What does that mean to mix and master?
Yeah. So like mixing and mastering are two separate things,
Yeah.
right? So mixing is like making a cake. You grab all the ingredients,
Yeah.
stir it up, put it in the oven for a lot of time, and it becomes something special. So it's taking all the individual sounds, all the
Yes.
individual sounds of the music, the kick, the snare, the hi-hat, the pianos,
Yes.
the bass line, all of that, and then EQing them, setting the volumes, compressing certain sounds so that they sound squashed a little bit,
Yeah.
and then taking your vocals, whether it's your lead vocal, your ad-lib vocal. I have another vocal that I'll call just like, yeah,
Oh, okay.
Just words like that.
Right.
And then I kind of pan those left and right throughout the whole joint.
Yeah.
And it's just taking all of that and then it mixed together well. And then mastering is the process of taking your final 2-track mix and then making the levels like super extra loud, EQing it,
Adding bass, taking away bass.
you know what I'm saying? Just doing everything so that it sounds radio ready and friendly, so that it sounds like everything else that you already hear. That's out. I mean, so like when I mix and master, I can have like 5 or 6 songs that I think are similar to what I do. That's already mastered, and these are like professional people that got their stuff done. You know what I'm saying? Like at a label or something like that.
Right.
And then my goal is to get to
90% of what they got to.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If I can get to 90% of what they got, I'm good. Because I didn't go to school for mixing and mastering for 25 years. So, like, I don't have all the knowledge that they got.
Right.
So I don't expect exactly like theirs. But if I can get to 85, 90% of what they got, the average person won't know the difference.
Yeah, yeah. So you do all the mixing and mastering yourself?
I do.
I don't want to.
It's just I don't have money to pay somebody.
Right, right. Well, do you do it for others? Do others pay you to do it?
No, because I don't have time to do it. I kind of don't really like mixing and mastering. I literally only do it because I have to.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
sitting there for hours, making sure the sounds are just right and tweaking. And I'm such a perfectionist that if I hear something that's not right, go back and fix it.
Yeah.
It's like I mix songs and then I go back and listen to it. Like, that sounds great. Oh, but you hear that part right there? You gotta go fix that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like I have to. It's like I can't just leave it.
Yo, you've been dropping some gems in this talk. Let me tell you, because it's amazing, just how many people don't even really think about or process, even the basics of putting out a good track. So I appreciate that.
No problem.
Is there any kind of, spiel or shout out you have for being a part of Track Stars and Nectar? Anything you want to throw out there?
Yeah, definitely sign up with Nectar, man. Nectar is free. I mean, it says like at the basic level, you can have your music uploaded to everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically for free. And then, I mean, they take money out the back, like a small percentage, but I mean, like if you don't have any money and you're trying to get your music out, I mean, you can definitely do that. Also, I mean, Track Stars are just good people. Like, they don't just, what I'm saying? Like, some places, which I won't say any names, there's places where you try to reach out and they kind of treat you like you're nobody.
Yeah.
And it's like, I thought we were, trying to get the name of Christ out. And if I have good music, I would think
You would want me to be on your platform because it's good music.
Yeah.
And that's just not always the case. So
Yeah.
Track Stars actually wants to work with you. They want to help you. I mean, they're saying like Track Stars does mixing and mastering. So like, you need that. They do that. They do graphics. They help develop you. Like they have so many things within their camp that you can literally go to them and get everything done that you need done.
Yeah.
Which is just incredible to me. Like, wow.
And they're Christian.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't really have to go outside of Christian people to get stuff done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I just want to add, when he says, or when we say they're Christian, like we're really talking about strong conviction here, walk the walk,
Absolutely.
talk the talk, really, really operate with the spirit of excellence and love.
Definitely.
Just I've definitely been behind the scenes with a few quote unquote Christian artists or Christian entities, and once the business, well, it's just once the business of things gets in, a lot of times it can get ugly. You'll see aspects or things that I don't know, could really be disheartening. But just from being on the behind the scenes of Track Stars, excellent organization. So yes, great shout out. If you're an artist out there and you want to get your music distributed, look up Nectar and Track Stars, and also take part of all the other services they have to help you be your best self. So that's awesome.
Absolutely.
How can people stay in touch with you? Give us all the shout outs of where you are and how people find you.
Yeah, I'm everywhere at Prafit Josiah. So that's Prafit Josiah, just like it's spelled in the Bible. You can say my website is PrafitJosiah.com. That'll send you everywhere. Twitter, Prafit Josiah, IG, YouTube, everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just at Prafit Josiah.
Yeah. Yes, Prafit, thank you so much for being on the show.
No problem. Thank you for bringing me on. I appreciate it again, because there's so many places where you can't get on, or you gotta have $1 billion to get on. And you said like, I remember I saw something. I think that Rick put up. He was like, yeah, my friend's doing this, and that. And my first thought was, how much does it cost?
Right.
Everywhere you go, literally, it's like, okay, you said we can help you, we can do this and that, and it's like, okay, cool, I want it down. You said, well, you said first off, it's $500, and then the next step is this, and that, and you need to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I mean, I understand, like, that is a true statement.
Everybody needs to invest in themselves.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
If you don't invest in yourself, you just kind of shooting yourself in the foot. But most of these people are independent, which means they have a job, they have a family.
It takes a lot of money to make music.
I'm lucky because I know how to do a lot of stuff. So, like, I do my own mixing and mastering. I usually do my own graphics.
Yeah.
I write my own songs. So, like, I'm investing in ways to try to save money. And it was nice to be able to get on a platform, and I didn't have to come out of my pocket. And I know that it has value. So I'm not saying people shouldn't charge, but, it's just nice to not have to pay.
Absolutely, man. Why don't we both just put our hands together and say some prayers that the I'm Simply Artistic podcast completely blows up and your name, gets spread, and your music and your message gets out there even further, as if you did pay. Let's just hope that happens.
Oh, absolutely. And it definitely will happen. Like, so I understand, like, this morning, I watched a video
of you doing a poem,
and it was just so dope. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, man.
But I actually tweeted it out. I was like, yo, this moved me. You know how you watch things and you just like, yo, like, this is cool.
Yeah.
But then there's other things you watch and it moves you. Like, it stirs your spirit. You know what I'm saying? You start getting tears in your eyes. You're like, yo, like, the Spirit of God is really here.
Yeah.
And it was like, I forgot what it was, but it was like somebody was singing, and then, you know, saying, and you was like, you was kind of rocking back and forth, like you had something that was about to explode, and I was like, why is she rocking like that? and then you started talking, and I was like, oh wow, that's why. That's why she was rocking like that. I was like, man, this is powerful stuff. Like, I wish I could remember what it was, but
was it pink? Was I wearing pink? Was I wearing pink and blue? Was I wearing pink and blue?
What you were wearing?
Hallelujah.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yes.
Hallelujah. Yo, that is so dope. That was incredible, man. I actually started crying, literally.
Yeah.
I was like, yo.
It's
Fire.
Every time I see that video and I see my
thinking about what you were saying.
yeah. Every time I see that video and I see myself rocking like that, I'm like, be still. Be still. Because it looks like so much. But I mean, of course, like you said, as the video goes on, like you understand like what was happening on the inside. But yeah, that's a quirk.
It's actually good that you were rocking, because it made me think she must have something to say. It was like you just couldn't wait to like let it loose.
Yeah.
And then when you started talking, it was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that was dope.
Man, I appreciate it so much. Thanks for watching it and for tweeting it out. I appreciate it. And I appreciate your time, man.
No problem. Thank you.
Yo, I have to be honest. That was a dope interview. I didn't know him ahead of time, so I was just getting to know him right along with you in the midst of this interview. So it was pretty cool. He dropped some real nuggets about the music industry, business, production. So I've got all the links to his website, his YouTube channel, things that he mentioned in the episode, and our show notes. So please be sure to check them out. And also, they're in the blog post that accompanies this episode on our website. Lastly, if you want to see the video he was talking about with me, that Hallelujah spoken word, I've included that as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. Okay? Next time.